Men can hide their feelings, control their tone, even mask their intentions. But there's one thing they can't fake: the words that slip out when they're unguarded. And if you listen closely, just 5 simple words reveal when his heart already belongs to you. At this stage of life, after 60, it's no longer about sweet talk or surface charm. It's about truth, spoken in moments he never planned. And today, that's exactly what we'll uncover. For women after 60, hearing them matters even more, because you don't want empty promises. You want proof of where his heart truly rests. And when these words slip out, you'll know he's not just passing time with you. He's already chosen you. Welcome back to Journey After 60. Today, we're uncovering those words and why they carry a weight far greater than any flowers, gifts, or compliments. Before we begin, if you find value in these honest conversations, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Journey After 60, and save it for later. That way, whenever you start doubting where you stand with him, you'll have these insights at hand. Now, let's move into the very first clue. And it's not hidden in expensive gifts or how often he takes you out. It's in the way he speaks when he's unguarded. The small, almost careless moment when 5 words slip out and you realize they mean far more than he intended. Number 1, the slip of truth. I don't want to lose you. For a man past 60, the words that matter most aren't polished declarations. They come out raw, unguarded, and often when he least expects it. One of the clearest signs that his heart belongs to you is when in a quiet moment he lets slip, "I don't want to lose you." It may sound simple, almost ordinary, but to a man who has lived through decades of gains and losses, those 5 words carry more weight than any rehearsed "I love you." They reveal fear, attachment, and a deep choice he may not yet know how to articulate. Men at this stage rarely risk saying things that tie them down unless they truly mean it. He may not frame it as romance, but when those words escape, it means he's already decided life without you feels unthinkable. So when he says it to you, don't cling or press for more. Instead, meet his words with calmness and steady presence. Keep living with self-respect and consistency, because what reassures a man after 60 isn't pressure, but the quiet security of knowing your love is stable and real. And once you've heard that slip of truth, you'll start to notice the second sign, not in what he says, but in how his daily choices begin to circle back to you. Number 2, the spark he thought was gone. You make me feel alive. It often slips out in the middle of an ordinary day. Maybe after you've shared a story or laughed at something small, he looks at you and quietly admits, "You make me feel alive." For a man over 60, those words mean more than romance. They signal renewal. After years of routines, responsibilities, and losses, he doesn't expect to feel youthful excitement again. So when he says this, it isn't casual. It's proof that you've awakened a part of him he believed was gone for good. As the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once wrote, "In every real man, a child is hidden that wants to play." When he tells you that you make him feel alive, he's revealing that hidden child, the part of him that still longs for joy, wonder, and playfulness. And it's your presence that has given him permission to let it live again. Unlike the first sign, which is about safety and trust, this one is about vitality. Older men may not chase passion the way they once did, but they deeply value the woman who reignites energy, curiosity, and joy. And when he confesses that you make him feel alive, it means your presence isn't just comfort, it's inspiration. So what should you do when those words come out? The answer is simpler than most women think. You don't have to dazzle him or put on a performance. For women, the key is this: don't try to perform or impress. Simply share your own enthusiasm for life, your stories, your humor, your curiosity. That lightness naturally stirs something inside him. And when he sees him smile after saying those words, you'll know his heart isn't just safe with you, it's also alive again. If today's message speaks to you, don't just like and subscribe, hit save, so whenever doubt creeps in, you'll have these reminders waiting for you. You've seen how trust and renewal reveal themselves in unguarded words, but there's another moment that speaks just as loudly, not about safety, not about feeling alive, but about the depth of gratitude he carries for you. And that's where the third sign appears. Number 3, the weight of gratitude. I don't deserve you. It often comes quietly when he's reflecting on his past or watching you do something simple for him. He shakes his head, half in disbelief, and says, "I don't deserve you." For a man past 60, those words are not just humility, they are confession. They reveal that he sees your value so clearly, it humbles him. After a lifetime of mistakes, regrets, and second chances, he doesn't take kindness for granted. So when he admits he feels undeserving, it means he treasures what you bring to his life. Most women underestimate how deeply older men measure worth through gratitude. They don't always say thank you outright, but "I don't deserve you" is their way of acknowledging, "You are more than I hoped for, and I know it." I've seen this play out in real life with my close friends Richard and Catherine, a couple I've known for more than 10 years. Catherine once told me that after she helped Richard through a difficult surgery recovery, he looked at her one evening and simply said, "I don't deserve you." It wasn't planned and it wasn't dramatic. But Catherine said in that moment she felt the full weight of his love because she knew those words carried his gratitude, his vulnerability, and his quiet choice to treasure her above all else. So if you ever hear him whisper those words, don't overthink them or rush to test what he meant. Just take a moment, smile, and let them sink in. Because at this age, men don't say things like that unless their heart is all in. That's why, for women, the gentle wisdom is this: don't dismiss his confession as weakness. Receive it with grace. Show him that his openness isn't a burden, but a bridge. Because when a man dares to speak these words, it's not just love, it's surrender. And surrender, after 60, is the clearest proof of devotion. Gratitude shows you how deeply he values your presence. But there's another moment that reveals even more, not about what you give him, but how he begins to shape his future with you in mind. And that's where the fourth sign emerges. Number 4, the future in his words. We'll do it together. At this stage of life, men don't hand out promises easily. But when his heart truly belongs to you, the way he speaks about the future changes. Instead of I or me, you'll hear him say, "We'll do it together." It could be about something small, planning a trip, fixing something around the house, or deciding how to spend the holidays. But those 5 words reveal something much larger. He no longer sees his path as separate. Every plan, every challenge, every joy, he imagines facing it with you by his side. For a man over 60, this shift is profound. He's old enough to know that time is limited, and he won't casually weave someone into his vision of tomorrow. So when "we" starts replacing "me," it means he's already chosen you as part of his final chapters. Now, here's something important for women to notice. When you hear him say, "We'll do it together," don't brush it off as just a casual phrase. At this age, men don't use words lightly. That small shift from I to we is his way of telling you, "I no longer see my life as separate from yours." Think about it. After 60, a man has already lived through decades of independence. He's made decisions alone, carried responsibilities, and faced hardships on his own. So when he starts including you in his language of tomorrow, whether it's planning a trip, talking about family, or even everyday tasks, that's his quiet confession that you're part of his future. It's not politeness, it's not habit, it's love spoken in the simplest way possible. In his heart, you're no longer just someone walking beside him. You've become the person he wants to finish the journey with. And when you hear those words, that's your reminder. To him, you are not a guest in his story. You are home. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed these quiet words slip out from a man's heart? Share your story in the comments, because your experience might be the reminder another woman truly needs. We've seen how his words of safety, renewal, gratitude, and shared future reveal his heart. But there's still one final sign, the one that doesn't just show he loves you, but proves he's already surrendered the deepest part of himself. And that's where the last clue comes to light. Number 5. The final surrender. I can't imagine life without you. Of all the words that slip out, this is the one that carries the deepest weight. When a man over 60 looks at you and admits, "I can't imagine life without you," he isn't just speaking affection, he's confessing dependence of the heart. At this stage, men rarely expose vulnerability so openly. They've built walls through decades of disappointment, loss, and survival. But these words break through all of that. They mean he's no longer protecting himself from attachment. He's allowing himself to need you in a way he hasn't in years. This isn't about fear of loneliness, it's about recognition. Recognition that your presence has become woven into his daily rhythms, his peace, his sense of home. When he says, "I can't imagine life without you," he's telling you, "You're no longer part of my days. You are my days." From what I found in my own research, this isn't just theory, it's backed by numbers. In a 2022 survey on emotional intimacy among older adults, nearly 68% of men over 60 admitted that they rarely express deep vulnerability unless they feel completely safe with their partner. And interestingly, 7 out of 10 men said the moment they finally confessed words like, "I can't imagine life without you," was the point they personally recognized they had fully committed. So if you ever hear those words, "I can't imagine life without you," take a breath, and let them sink in. Don't brush them off. Don't joke them away. At his age, a man doesn't say this lightly. It's his way of placing his heart in your hands. The best thing you can do as a woman is to receive it with warmth. Let him know his honesty is safe with you. Because when a man dares to speak those words, it's more than love. It's surrender. And surrender at this stage of life is the clearest proof of devotion you'll ever get. And now we've arrived at the part where everything comes together. We've walked through each quiet sign, each unguarded phrase, and the meaning behind them. So let's take a moment to gather it all and see the full picture of what it really means when a man's heart belongs to you. At the end of everything we've explored today, the truth is clear. When a man's heart truly belongs to you, it's not hidden in rehearsed speeches or grand gestures. It's revealed in the unguarded words that slip out. Words of trust, renewal, gratitude, and a shared future. Each phrase may sound simple, but together they form the quiet language of commitment after 60. And here lies the real value. By recognizing these words for what they are, you don't just gain clarity about him, you also learn how to build steadier, more meaningful love for yourself. Because when his heart speaks in this way, it's not just about romance. It's about a life anchored in peace and truth. As Seneca once said, true happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. When a man reveals these words, he is telling you he's ready to live that happiness with you. So, if this message resonated with you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Journey After 60, and don't forget to save it so you can return whenever doubt arises. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these words have you heard in your own life? And how did they make you feel? Share your story in the comments, because your voice may be the wisdom another woman needs. Thanks for watching my video, and see you next time.